Hello and welcome to another episode of Next Generation's First Generation. Today we'll be glimpsing into the mind's eye. I'm Sascha Shouties, your host, and with me I have Patrick Delmore.
Hey, everybody.
Woo! So, Pat, this is going to be a fun one because we get to mess with Geordi and turn him into a killer, apparently.
Yep. It's funny because this is what they would do. This is the kind of thing they would do to O'Brien on Deep Space Nine. And O'Brien figures heavily into this episode.
Yes. So everybody must suffer. That is a rule. I've noticed that just about every major character has been captured by a party and either put through torture or have been tried to convince that something else is happening. We actually just recently saw that with Riker not too long ago when he beamed down to that alien baby cave and traveled into the future. So, go ahead and cue up your viewing device. We'll give you the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, and play.
Geordi is riding along in a shuttlecraft on his way to Risa, actually,
for a conference,
and he's having some HAL 9000 with the computer, playing games. And
wait a minute, we've got an engineer going to an AI conference on a sex planet. That sounds like a modern day porn convention in Vegas to me.
Pretty much. No, I imagine, if he actually got there, it wasn't sidelined by the Romulans. They were like, we say we're having these AI conferences, give our engineers a little time to cool off.
Yeah, it's nice that the Picard gave him a couple of days off early. I'm wondering, Picard's not a nice guy. He usually offers things to people when they look obviously stressed out. So I'm wondering if there was like a side story going on where Geordi was just having a really bad couple of days, and Picard says, "Why don't we get this guy off the ship?"
Geordi's had a bad season.
Yeah, he really has.
The whole Leah Brahms thing.
Yeah,
and Barclay went nuts, and his thing with his surrogate sister Susan. He needs some time off.
Yeah, most definitely. But I'll tell you one thing: it's neat to listen to him talk to the computer here and just kind of do this game.
Major Barrett.
Yeah, I imagine, Geordi, the character, would be really successful using Alexa today.
Well, it's funny because it's kind of a preview of LeVar Burton coming in to guest host Jeopardy.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'd love it if he became the permanent host.
There's a great shot right there. The warbird just decloaks. It's time to put down his drink. How cute. Oh, he told the computer to turn off the music during the emergency. Come on. Everyone needs a little bit of
change. Play some Wagner. Bum, 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 bum. That's Beethoven.
Flight of the Valkyries. Da, 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 da. Yeah, and they beamed out Geordi.
They got him. The Rommies got Geordi.
No. Okay, so it is May 27th, 1991 is when this came out. You are probably having a wonderful May 27th because it's almost a 3-day weekend. I think Memorial Day is coming right up. So fire up that barbecue and do generic outdoor activity that brings joy. Because as you know, the Pacific Northwest has some of the best summers around. So, what do we know about the mind's eye? This is a brainwashing episode. And
all of our listeners that we don't know in person are in the Midwest.
Oh yes,
they're in Ohio or.
Y'all need to jump in a car and come out here. That's an order. First destination is Cape Disappointment. Go for it. All right, so this episode, Renee wrote this.
Renee Echevarria.
Yeah. So Marvin Rush cinematography, David Livingston directed the story, and yeah. So here's what I want to know: has it been cliche yet so far up to this point in season 4 that the Romulans will come in, kidnap someone, and do weird sleeper spy stuff with them?
No, this is the first time we've seen him do it.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
There was an episode where Riker thought they did that to him, but it was that little gray playing tricks on him.
That is right. So the Klingons, we have a rough alliance with them. There is our Klingon ambassador.
Turns out to be the big bad.
The big bad, yes.
Yeah, he's working with the Romulans.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that forehead piece. I think they took the trill from the last episode and just smushed it down onto his head.
Oh, there you go. I can see that.
Took the tail, tore it in half, stuck it up there.
I want to say this is Ambassador Kell. His Larry Dobkin is the actor here.
Larry D.
Hails from New York. Yep, he was in the TOS series in an episode called Enemy Within.
Oh, speaking of TOS, I have a correction that I'm supposed to have made forever ago because listener and friend of the show, Mike Zumo, pointed out that we had somebody show up that was a child in an episode of Star Trek, and I thought he was from The Children Shall Lead, but he was from Miri, which is the Grumps episode. I thought The Children Shall Lead is the Grumps episode, but Miri is the Grumps episode.
All right. That's not so bad.
No, but I just wanted to prove that we do read comments, and we would love to have more.
Yay! Meanwhile, on the Romulan ship, they're giving him the hustle shuffle there in the hallway where they're going to pretend to escort him and he's going to pretend to fight.
Yep.
I love his whoa, whoa, whoa. He's already...
Yeah, that's his thing. Hey, slow down, take it easy. I don't love that chin strap. Hey, who's this?
Oh, I know that guy. He was...
No, who's next to him? The shadowed lady. The lady of shadows.
I don't know.
Who do you think it might be?
No, it's not her. Not yet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It's totally not her.
It totally is her.
Because isn't she a blonde? All right, they're going to send in their Geordie LaForge to the conference. He does not look like Geordie at all.
No.
Except
He's got
for
the visor and the uniform.
Yeah, and the same hairstyle, but that's about it. So this is John Fleck, and we know him definitely as one of the Suliban guys. He's playing the whatchamacallit, the commanding Romulan. You can hear it in the voice. And I think he was
slowly watching Enterprise, slowly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, and he was in a lot of Star Trek. He was in Voyager. He was Corval in DS9. It was a Section 31 episode, if I remember correctly. Yeah, no, this guy's been in at least 10 different episodes, I want to say. Huh. Very well, he's got that nice villain voice to it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is very Ducat-like.
Sophisticated, educated, but cold.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sela, is that her name?
Yeah, Sela. Denise Crosby. I think we'll get to see full on in the season finale this year.
Ooh, that'll be nice. Wow, yeah, they don't show her face. So
So they're
they're
gonna mess. Go ahead, Sasha.
I want to know, do they actually reveal her in this episode? I don't think so.
No, no, not until I want to say the episode after, or the final episode of the season, Redemption Part One. I think she's sitting in a chair and turns around for the like the teaser for the finale, because they were like, this will be more exciting than Riker yelling fire. And it's not, because it's not an episode that I come back to hardly ever. So this whole
Right.
clump of episodes is great, but I just have not seen them very often. I like that LeVar Burton is actually made to be blind when he doesn't have his visor off. I mean, with his visor on, I meant to say.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Oh, and this guy didn't want to work with Worf because of the whole discommendation thing.
That's right. Oh, you're that Klingon. We can't be around a traitor, which is ironic because he is the traitor. Spoiler.
Well, no, I think that it meant that he would have. I think he didn't want to do it because Worf would be more willing to turn his back on, Klingon than somebody else would, feeling someone else in security might have to feel like they need to be more deferential. And Worf, it's just like, screw it, I don't know anything to the Klingons. I don't care if we keep the alliance or any of that stuff. Worf out.
Yup. Thanks for taking one for the team, Worf.
Some people would say thank you, but not me. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're not going to forget you killed Duras. Nor should anyone, because that was totally not okay for him to do that in his Starfleet uniform.
Right? Well, he does it not once, but he does it twice because he kills
Gowron later
Gowron.
on.
Yeah, right. But he takes off his badge, so it's legit. And all the other Klingons in the room are like, "Okay, we're down for this. Let's kill the leader."
Well, and in the beta canon, he's the captain of the Enterprise.
What?
Yeah, he becomes captain of the Enterprise E after Picard steps down.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, if you read the Star Trek The Next Generation series of novels that are going on concurrently with the Titan books, Worf is the Enterprise captain.
So, with the Geordie's visor, would he be able to tell if he was on a holodeck or not? Or do you think the holodeck would be able to emulate some of the same EM field signatures that he would see in real?
I would think he would be able to hook the visor to the holodeck and see exactly what the holodeck wanted him to see.
He wouldn't need the holodeck, really, other than the physical interaction.
Nope. Just needs. I'm thinking it and shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. He just needs the visor, a pair of gloves, and a box to put on his lap, and he's good.
So Geordie hesitates. They ask him to kill the shipmate there. I think it's O'Brien sitting down.
Yeah, it's O'Brien.
I must kill.
It's only the second time we've seen what things look like through Geordie's visor. And I remember watching this as a 9-year-old and being very weirded out, even though I'm pretty sure that any video camera you could buy back then could do this effect.
Oh, the Geordie effect, looking through your eyes. Yeah,
not with the lines going through it, but yeah, that.
Yeah, well, we got to see a little bit of that in I think season 1, where they pick up a whole bunch of renegade Klingons.
Yeah, where Geordie's looking, using he's doing like some remote viewing.
So all of a sudden, I'm thinking of The Naked Gun, where the guy goes, "I must kill the queen. I must kill the queen."
It was Reggie Jackson, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I think so.
We almost did a commentary for that.
That was a movie. I'll tell you that. It was. Yeah. I don't think it aged well, but It was a
Yeah,
movie.
you and I sat and watched it together, and then it's like, yeah, I don't. Do you want to do a commentary for this? I don't want to.
Now, out of all that happens, you think Troy would be able to flush out that he's been kidnapped. But if I recall, she says, "Hey, you seem very relaxed and happy."
Yeah, she's her reaction to him is interesting. I mean,
This
she
is
gets to
sorry. Go ahead. She gets the what?
she gets to at the end of the episode to work with him on what happened, but here at the beginning, she's just like, wow, Jordy, low and loose today.
Not the queen. That is not the queen. Oh, not the queen either. I won't kill her. Well, all those lines are part of the Romulan programming. I think that's that overlay there.
Yeah, this is the same year as Terminator 2, I want to say. So this does kind of call back to the original Terminator.
Okay. Did you know that this is the first episode where Miss Barrett received the credit for being the computer voice?
Really?
Yes. Before then, I'll have to go back and look, but in the notes here it says this was the first one where she received credit.
I'll be doggone.
Right? Well, we haven't reached his death yet. Mr. Star Trek himself.
Roddenberry, yeah.
Yeah.
That season they have the weird kind of swooping letters for the title.
Mm-hmm. What? He's second place in a chess tournament? Oh man. All of a sudden I'm thinking of that what is it? A long night in Bangkok? That 80s song?
One Night in Bangkok.
Yes. Also a song that did not age well, but that song was about a chess tournament.
Was it?
Yes. Go back and bring up the video on YouTube. It's
Oh, okay. I've only ever heard the song. I've never watched the video. I just know that the guy felt the devil walking next to him. Can't believe he shut the door.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
she does not pick up on signals.
You think she was wanted to be asked in for a drink? Who knows? Yep. I like Troy when she's happy, though. She's actually a radiant character when she's.
It does not. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
When she wants to be around people, she's very opening and welcoming. But often I get the impression that, hey, I'm doing my job. Don't talk to me. I'm just here to listen.
It doesn't make any kind of sense that the chief engineer would have that much trouble with women.
Now, why is that?
Because he's the chief engineer of the flagship of the Federation.
Well,
and he's fit. I mean, I can understand why like old Scotty would have trouble getting a date, but young Scotty did just fine. Trying to think who our other chief engineers are. You got Torres. She did just fine. Stamets is married when the show starts. And then I guess what's his name? Reed doesn't have a girlfriend.
Malcolm. So that comes into cognitive distortions. So if you think you are not good enough, you will sometimes look for evidence to show that you're not getting it, or you will try to mind read and think that people don't like you when it actually isn't a big deal. But that stuff can play a lot of interference in actually building meaningful relationships with people, and it can kind of scare people off too. And we know that Geordie's a very nervous person when he's in dating mode rather than being himself.
Yes.
So if Geordie didn't focus so much on trying to impress people, I bet he'd do just fine.
Yeah, he probably did fine when he was working with Susan. Now he's in this spot where like his best friend is a robot. His two best friends are a robot and a little boy, and um,
He's a man now. Come,
yeah,
come.
yes, he seems like a boy, but he is so much more than a boy.
So we are in the plot where the ambassador just threw a rifle to Picard and says, "We just found a whole bunch of these Starfleet weapons in the hands of rebels. Explain." And Picard says, "Well, I can't offer you an explanation." So they bring the rifle back to the ship, and I'm pretty sure they are going to do a forensic analysis.
Wow, that guy just got turned down. I
Yeah,
did not pick
totally.
up on that before.
Yeah, she just stood up abruptly and left, and then he was looking at his drink.
Yep.
Oh, poor guy. Oh, this is the murder test.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this right here is really good cinematography because, or storytelling, I should say, because he has the drink in his hand and he walks up to O'Brien and he just deliberately pours the drink all over O'Brien,
Yep.
just to kind of foreshadow that, the programming of doing harm is in there. The subliminal message does exist. So he is now a real threat.
Yep. But Geordi is also his boss because there isn't a whole lot O'Brien can do about it. I like we see Crusher and Riker sitting together. Nothing awkward about that.
Nope, not at all. Well, they're probably talking about the Trill episode that just happened. Maybe they're trying to work out some shared experiences.
Yeah. You can just see Riker asking the Klingon, "Did you ever put anything inside you like that?"
Or,
imagine you folded the top of your head into a calzone and stuck it in your tummy.
I bet you Beverly was saying, Will, now that I've had a chance to kind of be with you through this other this Trill creature, I'm surprised I didn't realize one hung a little lower than the other. It doesn't show up on your medical scans like that. No, that's well beyond the character's conversational range. So they are testing weapons. I'm surprised that Data is just casually standing behind the test target.
Yeah.
You would never want to stand behind a test target while a live fire exercise is happening. In fact,
you would not.
Why are they doing this by the warp core? An unknown weapon.
They should be in a shuttle bay, but they've got to have the shuttle bay repurposed for some other stuff they're going to do in the episodes. It's strange. I mean, I guess it's main engineering, and
But what did they like during the pizza party where everybody's gone? I mean, that engineering bay should be filled with like 6 to 15 staff punching buttons and walking around and talking about doing diagnostics or scrubbing some kind of coil, and their Data and Geordi would be in the middle of it, just kind of test firing this woman and test firing a woman, test firing a weapon, trying to navigate around all the mess. So here we go. We've got the forensics analysis that it is not a Starfleet weapon.
Yeah, those. The Romulans have those weird disruptors that would not work very well inside a rifle. It's tearing us apart.
Now, they're at a Klingon colony where the local inhabitants are trying to gain their freedom. You think that the Federation might be interested in this because most likely this was a world that was occupied through war and the people just want their home back. And Starfleet might have something to say about that.
Not really. We're going to find that out in that's why the Maquis happened, and that's we kind of get into that when Rose shows up.
True.
It's like she's pissed because she got displaced by the Cardassian, and Riker's like, "So what? It's we declared it legal. You can't be mad about it."
So here we go. Data has found an E-band reading, and he's going to mix it into his next Dead Mouse track.
Yeah, he's got the Spot mix where he sings along with Spock's meowing.
I'm gonna
Some good E-band readings in there.
send this to my buddy Pogo. Okay, so here we are. Geordi is seemingly in a cargo bay doing some kind of work
with the old isolinears.
Yeah, and we're not too worried about that for right now.
Nope.
I mean, the viewer just thinks he's doing his everyday job. La 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 la. He doesn't know the camera's there, so he could have totally picked his nose and nobody would have known.
Truth.
Okay.
So weird where they put stuff.
Now here is the reveal. So, why is he beaming stuff? What's going on? Now we know. It's a problem. He beams something to the surface and he's erasing logs. What is going on?
Sir, we are being hailed by Governor Vog.
Governor Vog, more like Governor Schmog. Let's see what the old warhorse has to say.
Vog Schmog.
It came from your ship, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy.
Trying to transport to the surface. Governor, I assure you, do not insult us both by denying it. Maintain your position until further notice. Attempt to leave.
It's so funny because we're so used to Zoom now, like we're doing right now, that people could just get up like the governor and just put their face like right on there.
I know, right?
I assure you, I am not a kitty cat.
All right, so all of a sudden they got some backup and they're about to.
Those are some
fire
cool looking birds of prey.
I know, right? I actually think they reused this footage from a previous episode.
Could be.
I want to say that was in the episode where Gowron was murdered.
You mean where Duras was murdered?
Or Duras. Yeah, Gowron's murder hasn't happened yet. Yep.
And I like that Geordi's like, could have been me.
So, some interesting thing about Sela, who was hiding in the shadows, her photo double was actually there on screen, Deborah Dilly, and then Denise Crosby provided the voice, but went uncredited.
Nice.
Yes, very interesting. And then, of course, Deborah was a Borg in other episodes. Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff in Star Trek. So we are happy to. I like how Star Trek is loyal to their actors.
Yes.
Yeah, Deborah, she was in about 6 different episodes.
Good for her.
Yeah. Oh no, more than that.
I love it. The schematic of the ship, you can see the shuttle bay with all the shuttles sitting in it.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
Totally out of scale though.
Yes.
Where's the bathroom, people?
Oh, the Enterprise D is so enormous. That's why you can write books about all of it. I mean, you don't even see like any significant portion of the ship on this show. It's so big. They designed it so big.
Oh yeah. All right, so this is our first telltale sign that O'Brien is a competent engineer. So he's talking about chips and control systems. There's a Perry. O'Brien and Worf would have made a very interesting friend couple, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, they interact enough.
I could see them like sharing war stories.
I mean, what's it? Worf's going to deliver Keiko's baby.
That's right.
That's so weird that actress is in her late 20s now.
Right?
Not I don't think the baby played Molly later on, but
no, there was a really nice photograph of all the kids of Star Trek that came out not too long ago.
Yeah.
In their 20s and 30s.
Yeah, Will and Surik Lofton and what's his name? Mr. Aaron Eisenberg, Mr. Nog, before he passed away.
Mm-hmm. So they're just having a forensics analysis conversation. They're just trying to figure out what's going on and who and why. And we've got the Geordi vision going on there. So
And this is where they clue us in that this Klingon is the control for Geordi on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only person who realizes that is Data, because he's got this ongoing E-band scan, and it only comes up in certain areas, which just is.
It's like, Mr. Doot Doot, you do look concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I am concerned. I'm having a Doot Doot moment.
Just for your information, E-band emissions is our secret code for having a little data fart. I've been practicing the art of gastrointestinal distress, but I did not want to distress my coworkers, so I've scaled it down to E-band emissions.
That would be funny if Pulaski showed up again. The actress is still around. And although Data's character has passed away, if she was like, "Oh, I remember you from the Enterprise, Mr. Doot Doot." It is Data.
Oh, brother. I still think...
And she's like, "Does it matter?"
They could have totally pulled off a CGI Data easily.
Well, they can't. They'll be able to for flashbacks. I'm sure Brent Spiner will loan his voice to it.
Look at this spread. This guy just came back from Red Lobster.
What was the motto of Red Lobster back then? You could pay more, but why?
If so, that's a terrible motto. No, the motto of Red Lobster would be, it might be the shrimp.
Yeah.
There we go. Here's the big reveal.
Yeah.
Now, we don't normally see Geordi so subservient. So obviously he must be in hypnotized mode.
You know what I like about this scene? There's a lot of shows where the bad guy would be immediately racist to Geordi.
Wait, what?
He's a big bat. Because he's eating this meal. He's like, "Come join me. I'm afraid I don't have any of those foods that black people like."
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
Yeesh. Yeah, I guess.
Now make sure you do the thing. Ha ha ha.
So there was
Poor
the
guy.
hit. He gave him the order.
Yep.
Oh, sleeping in the fetal position. I've always loved that about Geordi as a kid, seeing those little flashing diodes on his.
Yes, that is great.
I'm glad he doesn't. I'm glad he doesn't call for computer lights.
He wouldn't. He
No.
wouldn't have the lights on in his quarters unless company was coming over anyway.
I like how he called out to not LaForge, to O'Brien, just to make sure he was okay.
Sorry to disturb you. Are you dead? Can I fix that for you? What? Keiko's like, yes, for God's sakes. He farts in his sleep. Smells like corned beef and cabbage in here.
Oh. All right, so we're going to look at a Geordi's visor is wrong episode.
Yeah.
We have about 3 of those, if I remember. What can I imagine?
Having just a friend that has a late night dispensary like that, like the doctor does. Hey, I'm having trouble sleeping. I was hoping you could give me something.
Right.
It's like, let's figure it out.
Well, do you want to sleep or do you want to be wide awake? Because I got pills for both. What happens if I mix both?
Same thing as a matter-antimatter reaction.
Yeah, nothing serious. Does visor actually stand for anything? Visual input?
Yes, it did.
Output,
it did at one point, but I don't remember what. I'm happy they gave him bionic eyes because
Was
technology does not make sense that would be how you would compensate for blindness even now.
Would you say that the visor kind of dated itself in sci-fi between now
yes,
and 30 years ago?
Very,
40
very,
years
very
ago?
much so. Most work with blind people, and I say most because I listened to a story on This American Life or Radio Lab about it, has more to do with that working on their hearing, not on making it so they could actually see.
Yeah, well, the hearing would kick in, and you'd be much more sensitive because it's trying to overcompensate for the sense that you don't have.
Children that are born blind click to do echolocation just naturally.
Huh.
To tell how close they are to walls.
All right, here we go. Visor, visual instrument and sensory organ replacement.
I think we actually talked about the clicking thing in another episode, but
we did.
Yes, all of this, just to cite my source, is from either an episode of This American Life or Radio Lab.
Mm-hmm.
I have done very little to study this.
Now, they also had visors on Discovery, too. I don't know if you ever noticed. There was
I didn't pick up on that.
Yep,
That's
there
cool.
was a character there. So it was in continuity, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get the episode for that.
I mean, they had the guy with who was paralyzed from the neck down. It was pretty awesome. But
oh, okay. It's in the Discovery episode Brother. There we go. So
I wouldn't know off the top of my head what that is. They're all part of the serial. Is the thing.
Yeah,
you can't except for that the Harry Mudd episode in the first season. You can't really go, okay, here's the episode, or at a couple of episodes in season 2, like where they go to the planet where the people got transported out of time.
Yes. You know, that whole choose your pain thing from the Med episode has lived with me so much. I love that phrase. Whenever I talk about Star Trek, I try to insert the whole choose your pain, because really most of these episodes are all about, okay, someone's going to suffer.
Yes, but I need my pain.
So here we go. I don't know if this is sloppy detective work or just they needed to finish the episode. We're 9 minutes in till the end of the episode. And within about 3 minutes, Data has all the information that he needs to crack the case. And he's just kind of doing his walkabout to verify the evidence before he interrupts the murder. And I'm thinking to myself, how cool would it be if they started the episode with the E-band emissions and then was able to deconstruct that Geordi was kidnapped by the Romulans rather than just showing the audience?
Yeah, they rarely do in media res stuff unless it's like the one where Riker has the 3 different versions of how he sexually harassed that guy's wife, or that weird one where the guy killed somebody on purpose and their like body is still like burned into the ship.
Yeah, I remember that
the accident. Oh, and even this season, the shadow creatures thing with Geordi.
Shadow creatures, the clickers.
Yeah, the luminescent beings.
Oh,
go back in time and see what happened to the guy. There's an extra shadow here.
I thought the other shadow creatures were this interdimensional lobster, and they were taking people at night. And
that was a great episode. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, really? You're gonna give him the fake practice target right there when he's supposed to kill the other guy?
I like that they're like, we're not anticipating that Worf will try to stop you, which makes sense because it's like we're going to tell, our ambassador, say he doesn't want to work with Worf. I was like, oh shoot, that didn't work. I hope he doesn't grab Geordi's face at the last second. You know what's funny is we saw in Up the Long Ladder that they have this thing that if there's ever fire in that room, a shield will go down around it and extinguish all of the oxygen.
Okay.
Anywhere. in that room.
Yes.
Now, don't you think you could do this to somebody with a phaser?
Oh, yeah.
Just lock
I don't see
onto
why
him and
not.
shut him down?
Because when you watch the speed of a phaser beam going from the weapon to the target, it's only about as fast as a Nerf gun. I mean, it's not a fast beam.
Yeah, an open flame is a lot quicker.
All right, here we go. Data's going to solve the episode with a determined walk and a distant stare.
Data could run a lot faster than he's strolling.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that Data just gave an order to Worf to arrest LaForge.
Yep. These Klingons are like, nope, we want Geordi to shoot the governor.
Oh, and who saves the day? Picard.
By putting his thumb over the top of the phaser. Like that's a hand. That's just lost a hand.
Yep. I see you saved me. Thank you. I shall drink lots of
human.
wine.
Yep. Kapla or kapli or whatever it is we say.
And Data just comes in to save the day and make Picard look so good.
Yeah.
As soon as Picard says, I have no idea to explain why our enemies are here with us, and Data says, oh, it's that guy over there. Starfleet had nothing to do with it. We are totally off the hook, 100%. The best line in this episode is after the ambassador gets called out. He asks for asylum from Picard because he doesn't want to get murdered back on the.
And I love this. The Klingons are like, nah, we'll take him and search him.
Why would the Romulans want to kill me? The Romulans have always wanted to destroy their lives.
Yeah, the Romulans.
Always a game of chess with the Romulans. Counter move or counter move.
So, if you were brainwashed for real and you were sent on a murder mission and you were caught, let's say military, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they'd let you just casually return to duty at your same post.
No. Usually what happens is you get disavowed.
Yeah. I mean, even if they give you a discharge with honors, your career, I think, would be over because you are now a liability.
Yep. But I mean, Data's been a liability a million times over and has been forgiven. So.
Oh, everyone's forgiven on this ship.
I am a Klingon, an emissary of the Council. I will not submit to being searched by you or anyone else on this ship.
Oh, there's some TV show where they're talking about everyone gets forgiven. Oh, it was Battlestar Galactica. They kind of called that trope out where, geez, just because you like somebody, they're forgiven. But the one guy you don't like does something just as bad, and all of a sudden you have to hang that guy.
Well, they needed everybody to get to where they were going. It's like
there you go.
It's like on Voyager. There's an episode where several people. There's many episodes where people do stuff that should get them kicked out of Starfleet altogether, and Janeway's got to be like, no, I have to figure out how to continue to have you be useful because we can't have you leave the ship.
Mm-hmm. So
and this is Troy is now going to deprogram Geordi, which is a great scene, which would have been a great full episode.
This would have been a great opener where he just I'm having double memories. I remember.
And I almost think it would have made sense for it to be the opener. It would have been. I mean, you would have known that, particularly if you couldn't tell where Geordi was, like if it looked like he was in the brig and not in her office, you'd have been like, maybe he did succeed.
Or in that same courtroom like they had in the Drumhead, where it's just those two chatting it out. What's odd is that, so Geordi says, I remember being there. The Andoria waiter couldn't get our orders right, but they sent another guy out to fake Geordi. So did they just take his memories and implant them into Geordi?
Could have been, yeah.
Or did they just write a narrative?
I think they planted his memories in Geordi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now he's thinking about it. He doesn't know what to believe now. Now, why would this be a counseling session and not a medical conversation?
Because maybe she and Crusher discussed it and decided that Troy would be better for it because of her empathic abilities. I mean, she is still. I've got a. Hang on.
So
I had a phone call coming through.
Oh no! So
we'll
what Troy?
We'll wrap this up at the end here real fast, and I can call them back.
Yeah. What Troy was doing was actually the beginning of EMDR, where you go through the event. You say, okay, let's go back to the shuttlecraft and tell me what happened. And you try to remember as best you can what happened in the traumatic event. But what they don't show is that Troy will then say, okay, now instead of being kidnapped by these Romulans, what would you do? What it doesn't have to be serious at all, just what would you do? And then Droidy says, oh, well, the Enterprise would come and blow them away or something like that. So you're actually trying to implant a solution. I mean, obviously, you know that solution did not happen, but you're giving your subconscious an alternate suggestion saying it could have turned out differently. And it actually helps with the traumatic process.
I can see that.
Yeah, so it's a very fascinating therapy practice. It's not good for everybody because it can re-traumatize you, obviously, but it is used for typically like assault and blackouts and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, here we go. I'm getting off of a tangent. So, the mind's eye. This is great. I would have to say this is 4 out of 5 implanted memories.
Same.
Yeah. Good story. Clunky delivery, but it works for Star Trek. They only had 45 minutes to work with. I just wish that they took all the footage that they had and played it in reverse order. So you start with the counseling session, and then the flashback would be Geordi on the Romulan ship having that conversation, and then maybe the flashback to him being in the cargo bay and having the failed assassination attempt, and just walk it backwards all the way to where he is starting his vacation.
Yeah, it'd be really good.
Well, I think we're good. Our next episode is what? In theory.
Yes, and I've got a lot to say about that, so I'm glad I'm not going to go into that one low energy. To see if we can get a gem to come with us.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good episode. So, with that being said, I'll say see you later to you folks, and have a wonderful day.
Why am I interviewing you guys?
So you're the guest.
So Sascha, what's a Star Trek
Hi,
Next Generation?
I'm the guest. So Sascha, what is Star Trek Next Generation?
Seek us out at Next Generation's First Generation at iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Music credits include Electric Car by Poddington Bear, Broke for Free, As Colorful as Ever, Glass Android by Lee Rosevere, The Garden State by Audio Binger, Audio Engineering by Sascha Shouties, Chief Meme Maker and episode cover credit goes to Matthew Kirshner. Logo and graphic art design credit goes to David Clawwitter. And special thanks to Patrick Delmore for working with other podcasts to make sure the good word gets out.
If you'd like to email the show, you can email us at nextgenfirstgenpod@gmail.com. I've been Patrick Delmore.
And this is Sascha Shouties. Thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful day.
Good night.